Y ahora Messi. Impresionante. Parece que lo hace fácil. Ha protegido el balón también hasta el momento que ahora no aparece. ¡Qué buena oportunidad! ¡Leo Messi!
Okay, so the season has just kicked off here. Premier League has gotten a few games going, and everyone's waiting for FIFA to come out, but it'll be a little while longer. We caught up with Garreth here, who's the online producer, and I think online really is one of the most exciting parts about sports games these days. It's really leaps and bounds about what we could expect just a few years back from an online mode. Can you just tell us a little bit about how you sort of expand on what FIFA had last year in this year's product?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year, FIFA Seasons, which was our main online mode, had over 940 million games played so far, which is incredible numbers, something that we'd never seen before. And for us, it was all about taking sort of a different concept of online play. Instead of it being all about leaderboards and rank points, we made it more football. So we made divisions, promotion, relegation, and now adding to that in FIFA 13, we've added division titles, a trophy cabinet, the ability for you to play with a friend, so 2v2 online within seasons mode. Outside of that, in our Pro Clubs mode, which is the full 11v11 online mode, we've taken that season concept and added it into clubs as well. So really trying to bring that football concept across to all our online modes to really make it FIFA specific and appeal to the football gamer.
Sounds just a little bit complicated for me to get that sort of pro club into the seasons mode, sort of getting all the logistics together. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so for us it's really about playing with friends. It's sort of the main piece of that. You can play as small as 2 versus 2 if you want within clubs mode. So really it's as many people as you can get online at a time as you can. And then we pit you up against another club that has a similar number of players that's in a similar division. But it's really wide open in terms of how you want to play it. So for me, a lot of times if I just have another friend that's online and we want to play, we'll set it up. Other times, especially when FIFA 13 comes out, everyone at work is going to want to play on the club together. So we'll get some big, maybe even up to 11v11 matches.
So I'm sure you do a lot of data mining and stuff like that. So how popular is it to go 11 on 11? Is it something that's rare, or do you find that certain players tend to do that day after day, night after night after night?
Yeah, there's some clubs that's all they play is full 11v11 with people controlling the keepers as well. The average for us is probably around the sort of 10 to 14 range as opposed to 22. But again, it's all ranges are available, so you can sort of play the way you want and play against opponents that you want to play against.
Another thing about sort of, I guess it's not strictly online, but about keeping the game fresh all the time this year, you're adding sort of this component of where things will sort of migrate from the real world into the game. Sort of, I don't know, maybe like if for this week, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo wouldn't do any goal celebrations, for instance, or something like that. I don't know if you can actually do that, but yeah, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, that's a great example. So he came out and said that he was sad, and definitely the feeling of being sort of dissatisfied or not at ease is something we can put in the game, and we can have fan reaction to that. We can have stories based on that. We can have audio based on that. Even morale and form. So that's a great example, and I think that's the exact kind of thing that we want to do for FIFA 13 going forward, is really try to replicate the real life events that are happening that people are talking about, and through the EA Sports Football Club Matchday feature, bring that back into the game, so that when you watch your favorite club or your favorite league in real life, when you go into FIFA, you're seeing those same stories and that same aspect of the game within FIFA. So that's been our goal this year.
It's almost extra stakes than when your favorite team is playing, because your best player might be out of form in FIFA if it doesn't perform.
Exactly. He could be out of form. He could be injured. He could be out of the lineup completely. But it works the other way as well. There's so many ups and downs throughout the season. I look at maybe a club like Arsenal last year that started off so badly, had that huge defeat, and then sort of came back at the end but didn't quite get there. All those sort of ups and downs is something we'll be able to recreate for everyone's club through this match day feature.
So I guess that means that you're going to have a team, live team that sort of sits and measures all these stuff and puts them into numbers and makes sure they're in the game. So can you tell us a little bit about the FIFA live team, that's sort of their work that starts when the game is out?
Yeah, so we've got a live team in Vancouver that does all the content for the EA Sports Football Club. So all the scenario and challenge matches. They do games of the week, which is new for FIFA 13. All the FIFA Ultimate Team content, so the team of the week, players of the week, all the special competitions. But then aside from that team, we also have an army of real fans out in every country for every league that brings us data on how well the players are playing, who's in form, who's out of form, any attribute changes we should make to FIFA. We get all that information in as well, and that is what gets put into match day and into the regular game sort of all throughout the year in FIFA 13.
So you touched upon the Ultimate Team. That's also a huge online aspect, obviously. What kind of things have you brought to the table this time around? What to make it feel fresh again?
Yeah, so I think the biggest feature in Ultimate Team for FIFA 13 is probably the seasons mode that we had talked about in regular FIFA. That has been incorporated into Ultimate Team as well. So now it's not just playing one-off online games or tournament games. It's also about trying to rise up through the ranks of Division 10 to Division 9 all the way up through, so that there's a real feeling of football progression both online and offline within Ultimate Team. I think the other big aspect with Ultimate Team to really keep people engaged, and especially new people, is what we're calling an icebreaker flow, which is the ability to create sort of a way to start off that isn't so intimidating, that sort of walks people through what Ultimate Team is, how they can create a team, how they use the auction market, and that's going to really help bring more people into the mode and keep it as popular as it is today.
And these days, FIFA is perhaps more than just a game. It's more like a service, basically. It's something that keeps progressing and something that's across multiple platforms. And you're bringing out an app as well. So what can people expect from that? And then sort of how do you see people using that app in their sort of FIFA games?
Yeah, so the app, as it currently stands, we're calling it the EA Sports Football Club mobile app. And it really has two functions. So the main thing that I think people use it for is Ultimate Team. So we track your current squads, your auction market, your trades, how many coins you have, all the aspects of Ultimate Team that people really want to have all the time. And then we're also tracking your EA Sports Football Club news level, all those pieces of the game as well. So if I'm not at home and I want to see how my friends are doing, I can open up the app and see all the news feeds about how my friends are doing in FIFA 13. So I think it's something that is going to be big for FIFA 13, but will continue to evolve down the road because, like you said, having connected experiences that aren't just sitting at home in your living room is something that we really want to keep moving forward with.
It'd be interesting to one day maybe even watch highlights of a friend's game on your smartphone, you know, when he's played when you're away or something like that.
Yeah, I love that idea. That's something I really want to have, is just the ability to not just have a friend say, hey, I wish you could see what I did last night, but to actually be able to do that, and hopefully one day we can get to that in the future.
But in the near future, we got FIFA 13 to look forward to. Demo coming out next week.
Yep, demo's out on the 11th, I believe. Really excited. I think people are going to love it.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.